Hello everyone, this is Ben here from cruise.co.uk. Hope you're all doing well. I've recently just come back, just landed last night actually, from my first river cruise. So what I thought I'd do is give you all a little video, just from my personal point of view of what to expect when you go on your first river cruise. So, like many of you, I'm sure, we've all been on the ships of the world. We've all done the Med, the Caribbean, some people as far as Alaska, Australia, all of those wonderful places, but we are looking for something new. And that's river cruising, which is a completely different way of travelling, and is something that I would recommend to everybody after doing it for the first time. To be honest, I was thinking, yeah, it's going to be a nice trip. Luckily, I've been to the places in Germany we were going to before, and I knew it was a beautiful place, but I wasn't sure about the way it would feel travelling on a river ship. Is it going to be claustrophobic? Is it going to be, quite dull? I just wasn't sure what to expect at all, and I can honestly recommend it to everybody. In terms of seeing the amount of places that you'll see in a short time, there's no more relaxing way to do it than on a river cruise. And because it's a smaller ship and because there's only literally 100 people on board, everything is just at your fingertips. So just an example of when we arrived in Amsterdam, which is obviously just a short flight from the UK, from 2 hours sat on the ground at Birmingham Airport, I was on the ship having a glass of wine. And that is something which will just never happen on an ocean cruise, travelling internationally. It's physically impossible. So we were met at the airport, and taken to the ship in a private taxi, which took about 20 minutes because they dock in the heart of the cities. They don't dock miles away at a container port. And you walk up the gangway and you're on board. They're expecting you. You're on board, and that's it. So I travelled with Uniworld on my first river cruise, which are the boutique river cruise collection. Now, on any river cruise you go on, you're going to get what I've just told you about, because there's only, on average, about 100, 120 people on board. So you haven't got mass embarkation, you haven't got security to go through, you haven't got check-in, you haven't got 5,000 people trying to get on one ship at any time. Now, interestingly, you can call it a ship or you could call it a boat. I actually googled before I went what the difference between a ship and a boat is. A ship is categorised as a boat that carries other boats. Now, river cruise ships do have general just one lifeboat on board, so it's kind of on the cusp, but I would probably say it was a very, very nice boat. So, the atmosphere is really different on board a river cruise. So, the scenery is changing all the time, and you are in the midst of the scenery. Some pictures are just going to come up now, which I took just yesterday. Absolutely breathtaking cruising through the romantic Rhine. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The rolling green hills, the amount of castles and beautiful little villages, and the history was just wonderful. So you are in the heart of it, you can almost touch it, yet you're on your ship. You're not out on an excursion, you are just there. Then what happens is almost instantly the ship docks, you arrive in the heart of the town, and you take 2 steps down the gangway and you're in town. You're in town, you can smell the food that's cooking, you can hear the language immediately. You're just there. As a general rule as well, excursions are all included. So when the ship arrives, for example on our Uniworld cruise, where there were little headsets in the room on charge, all wireless, just plug your headphones in, there's your excursion, hello, right, we'll come with you, we're off on the cable car and up to the cathedral, headset on, beautiful explanations of things, and, you know, within 10 minutes of having your breakfast, you're already halfway up on the cable car, having a wonderful time on your excursion. So the reason why it is such a relaxing way of travelling is because you're in the middle of everything. There's never any connections to make. For example, when you arrive in a port in the Med, say if you're in Civitavecchia, yes, it is the port for Rome. Yes, there's some great excursions to Rome, but it's going to take you 15 minutes at least to get off the ship. Then you've got to find your shuttle bus, the exit to the port, to then find your way into Rome from there, which is an hour and a half away. You know, this just isn't the same. They dock in the heart of Cologne. They dock in the heart of Vienna, in the centre of Rudesheim. What a beautiful place that is along the Rhine. You know, everything is just there. Budapest, you can just touch it in front of you. Procedures on board as well, non-existent. They just don't have them because there's so few passengers on board, and obviously you're next to the shore all the time, so you don't have to do the big long musters, you don't even have a life jacket in your room, none of that. So that's something really different and really nice. Dinner's all open and casual as well. So yeah, people do dress up. It's a more refined way of travelling. So, you know, a couple of nights I wore a jacket, but open collar, absolutely fine. And for the ladies, you know, they were all dressed for dinner. I didn't see any ball gowns on board. They're not expected or required. If it's your birthday and you want to dress up, go for it. Enjoy it. No one's going to look at you at all. It's such a relaxed way of travelling. The differences for me is that on a river cruise ship, because of the size of the ship, you're not actually going to get that wow when you step on board. It's quite hard to get that without something being on a really large scale. So you're not going to get that instant wow, but what you do feel is just so instantly comfortable. It's just like being at home. Comfortable lounges and bars, nothing too brash, no timetables. They're generally all inclusive as well. Mine with Uniworld, totally all inclusive. You could have anything you wanted at any time. Or some of the others, maybe if you're going for a more modest river cruise, will just include the essentials. So your drinks included with your main meals, for example. Which for a lot of people is what they need. And of course, if you do fancy a little drink before dinner, you can buy one. But you know, there are those all-inclusive river cruise lines out there, and I can honestly say on my trip, transfers were included, excursions were included, obviously all food's included, all gratuities and drinks as well. I actually didn't spend anything on my trip, and to think that that was 4 days me away, I actually would have spent more here buying food, putting on my heating, getting to work, for example. You know, these are all factors. I didn't spend anything. Now that is, to me, is luxury, to not have to think about what I'm spending at any time. So I hope this has given you a really sort of good feel for what river cruising is like, and how it differs from ocean cruising. You will get a real home from home atmosphere on board. It's definitely a more select way to travel, in that there's only 60 rooms on board your ship, so you feel quite exclusive, like you're in. It feels like home, but then almost like a little bit of a club as well. You know, it feels like you're something, part of something really special, because of the size and the scale, and that you're meeting people all the time. You're all up on deck you know, enjoying the sun, or it was quite cool in Germany yesterday. It's autumn now, so we all had our blankets on, and they were bringing around hot pretzels and breakfast, beers, and then also some hot drinks as well, all local to the region. So we're all there and we're experiencing it together. Oh, look at that castle, look at that one, look at that beautiful church over there, the black and white buildings. We're all experiencing it together. And then because dinner, you're all there together, and then you've got, you know, just the one lounge where you go, and it's really relaxing in the evening. They've got a nice little bit of entertainment, which is just perfect. It just sets the ambience. That's all it does. So you'll find a local performer, small dance troupe, for example, in the local wares. You'll find a piano player or singer. All it does is set the ambience. Don't expect to be entertained in the evening like you would on a huge cruise ship, because you're not going to be. It's all about the ports that you've been to, the destinations. Most people tend to have their dinner, and then maybe a couple in the bar in the evening, nice chat, catch up with everybody, and then off to your lovely, lovely room. Put your robes on. You've got fantastic in-room movies. Chill out, and then up early in the morning to enjoy the views again as you sail into your next destination, or just purely scenic cruising. So I want to help those people that look at river cruises. You see the deals that we advertise, you see them on the TV, you hear them on the radio. It's becoming really popular now, but you've got all of those burning questions. At cruise.co.uk, that is what we're here for. You've got a dedicated river team that you can call. So we've all been on these ships. We've done the river cruising, and we've all obviously been on ocean cruises as well. So we'll give you that first-hand knowledge of what your individual chosen cruise line will give you. Or if you're not sure, we'll find the right one for you. That's what we do here at cruise.co.uk. We give completely unbiased opinions and personal advice. That's what we're all about. So I really hope that this has given you what you need, and we look forward to welcoming you to river cruising. And as always, we've got so many repeat customers. Thank you so much for coming back to us, and thank you for watching this today. So until the next time, happy cruising, guys.